Hey guys, how's it going? So, this video is a bit spontaneous, it's a bit of a live stream. And in this video, we're going to be going through basically some. Sorry, I just need to mute that. That's annoying. Um, yeah, so it's going to be a video. Basically, it's going to have a bit of HTCG discussion, it's going to have some reveals for my newest set, it's going to have some reveals from Skyscape TCG, and it's going to have a nice little uh, pack opening, box opening, which I sent over to Jared. So obviously in this video I am joined by Jared from Skyscape TCG. If you want to say hello.
Hello.
Cool.
Hi, I'm Jared from Skyscape TCG. Bunch of awesome new things coming up in this video, live stream really. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Right, okay. So hopefully the levels on OBS are all set for regular viewers. I don't use OBS that much, so I hope there's not too much background noise or reverb. If there is, just let me know as usual. And be sure to say hi in the chat because it's really nice to speak to you guys, especially on even if it's just, well, it will be through text chat, so a little bit of echo in Skyscape saying, okay, that's probably because it's coming out of my speakers and my microphone's probably picking it up, so I may just need to put my headphone in just to change the audio through for that. Okay, so we'll see how the audio goes and if it improves over time. So, yeah, what was the first thing on the list? It was HTCG checks before we got onto our games.
Yep, so what I have for the first thing on our list is just some HTCG news. So new things that were going on in the community.
Yep, okay. Yeah, so this segment of the video, it was basically going through latest updates in the community, such as people who may have appeared over the last month or two who seem to be doing pretty well for themselves in the community. So I think the first... sorry, let me just come off that. So I think some of the most popular ones are upcoming ones. We've got a handful of them. First one I think who probably deserves a shout out is Summoners with a Z. See if I can get that on screen there. So I kind of came across Summoners through Epic Underworld's Discord channel, and for some reason it doesn't just come up on my feed like any others. So I actually had to find this one, and he seems to be doing pretty well for himself. I mean I quite like the design and the artwork. I'm just trying to find his channel now. His game logo looks a bit like Epic Underworld's Spike Serpent. Where's it gone? So have you seen much with Summoners?
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of their newer videos. I really like the art style and just the overall direction of like how the game is coming along.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so on screen now I've got Summoners. Like I said, it looks like a Z. And for some reason, when I first saw this logo on his channel, I just thought it was Epic Underworld's Spike Serpent, but no, it's actually one of his own characters.
I had the same thing happen actually.
But I mean, looking at his channel is uploading every other day by the look of it, every 2 or 3 days. And to be fair, for a newish channel, I think he's got quite a lot going for him in the future. I mean, his channel's been around. His oldest video alone is 1 month old, and his videos getting at least 200 views, 100 to 200 views per video. It kind of reminds me of a little bit like an OG Chaos Galaxy type feel, but not as square. Do you know like the boxes and the card boxes and text boxes and stuff like that? So I do think that this will actually be moving up quite a lot in the homemade trading card scene.
Me too, definitely.
But yeah, he's very recurrent with his thing. He's got battle videos. His artworks, it looks like he's got a very unique style of artwork. Yeah, like I said, I think this one's going places. In all fairness.
Definitely.
Right, okay, so what was next? Who was the next one? Mythic Guardians, I think it was. Now, this chap appeared, I think I came across him 2 months ago or so, and his thumbnails alone just look high end. Let's just have a look on his videos. So again, I've got his channel up on screen. To be fair, every time I leave him a comment on his videos, he always gets back to me. He's very quick at like replying to you, so he's on the ball. His channel's been around for 6 months, and like I said, his videos, every single thumbnail has got a picture of him on his thumbnail. So I think that's always good for the YouTube algorithm, because I always think that proves to YouTube that you're a human being and it's not a bot channel. But yeah, he's
definitely gonna start making more thumbnails like that.
yeah, so they are very good. Obviously, he looks like he's had experience with thumbnails and stuff like that before, and the way he does, in essence, I think he's going to be the next Shard TCG, because at one point Shard had a lot of tutorial videos, how to do this, how to do that, and what makes things good, what makes things bad, and this chap seems to be doing exactly the same, and he seems to be doing pretty well for himself. His videos are hitting approximately 1,000, if not more than 1,000 views per video. So yeah, for those, well, I highly doubt if you guys subscribe to me, you probably already subscribed to him. But if you're not, on the rare chance you've not seen Mythic Guardians, then I would probably suggest to pay him a little visit as well.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody watching this, definitely subscribe to Mythic Guardians.
Yep.
Huge shout out to them.
Coolio. Right, okay. I am just very quickly going to make a quick output. Change. Nope, not that. Right, okay. Can you just talk again? Okay. Oh, that's come through desktop audio now. Right, okay. Even better. Right, okay. That has fixed my problem with the audio. Right, okay. So, audio output capture does not need to go. Right, cool. Right, who was the next person? Jake's Fakes. Did you get a minute to look at this one?
Minute to look at, you said Jake. Let me pull him up real quick. Oh, wait, I think I've seen maybe one or two of his videos so far, but he's looking still kind of newer to me. So tell me a bit more about him, for my sake and for people that don't know about him yet.
Yeah, so I came across this guy on Instagram, and he seems to. I think that's where a lot of his followers have come from. So his original videos on his channel look like homemade Pokemon designs, which is new to me. I've not really seen anything like that in our community. But then his latest video is him making a homemade TCG. So for some reason, his homemade TCG video has already got 3,000 views within a week. And to be honest, if he's been designing like his own homebrew Pokemon creations, then he probably has got the knack, or will have the knack, for making his own trading card game. So at the moment, he's only got one trading card game video up on his channel. Whether he follows through with it is anyone's guess, because me and Jared being in the community for several years now, we've seen people come and we've seen people go. But it would be pretty cool if he did continue the journey, because I do think just by looking at his thumbnail alone, he's got like a folder full of designs. So it would be pretty cool to see this lad actually, get on with making his TCG, getting a release on and stuff like that. So I'll just see if my laptop can handle adverts. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say it looks like he's going along pretty well. Like he already has over 500 subscribers, and his homemade TCG video was a week ago. It's got
Hmm.
3,000 views. He's looking like he's having fun. The binder seems to be pretty full of all these unique cards and stuff. And I mean, I know a lot of the things that I do now is more of digital artwork, and a lot of people are kind of going more into digital. But um, even if it's just drawings that you have of cards in a binder that you're making, that's pretty much the core of the homemade TCG community. So if he's enjoying doing that and enjoying making his game, whether it goes into something digital or more hand drawn, as long as he's having fun, that will help grow his game and grow his channel.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so I've got his first video up on screen now, and it's basically a video of him creating his cards. So that's pretty cool. So I mean, all the best to him. I kind of hope he grasps the whole game crafter concept quite easily, because I know it can be a bit of a challenge to some people. But once you've done a few products on the game crafter, it's not actually that hard to use. It's just learning the concept of how to use the game crafter, I think, for newer people.
Definitely.
Right, okay. Who was next? I need to lift my laptop up because it's getting a bit cranky.
Did we want to talk about Zach yet, or kind of save him for later?
We can save him till later if you want. Um,
Okay.
let's try and get the newer people out of the way first. Um,
Okay.
next one I think was it Matthew GX? I don't think I'm gonna find him. I am subscribed to him. Just while I'm searching for him, we've got a bit of chat in the we've got a bit of chat going. Next month I'm going to I'm going to do a bit. So this is something called Arnie Boy XD. Next month I'm going to do a bit more of a TCG I'm designing. I'm putting the coin game on the back burner because of the barrier to entry. Yeah. Okay. So designing a new TCG is always fun, very challenging, lots to do. um, Royal Showdown has posted today. I've not seen her for a while. She is the creator of Domham Rhapsody, if you remember Anna
Oh,
from
very
Domham.
nice. Very nice.
So she's got a new game called Royal Showdown. Um, I'll very quickly go on to her just because I have randomly. She's just happened to have uploaded a video quite recently. So her game has been off YouTube for a while. I know that much. She's mostly been on Instagram over YouTube more than anything. Um, and her game, Royal Showdown, is it's quite themed on like a deck of cards. Do you know, like spade, like the suits, like an actual deck of cards, but it's a TCG. So I've not really looked too much into how to play the game, but I have purchased her game in the past just because her artwork alone is, even though it's done just by one person on the PC, it's very well made. And she really emphasises as well that it's not AI, because I know a lot of people don't like to use AI in in homemade trading cards. Um, so she is very stern on making it known that it's not AI. It is actual um, hand drawn, digitally hand drawn by a person, and not the internet.
Yep. Let's say no to AI.
Who else have we got? There is Matthew GX. His game is called Myo Mashup. I think that's MYO. Myo. And this is another
My-
hand-drawn game. But however, this channel he seems to be again he seems to be an uprising creator. So he's got 229 subscribers, and just waiting for my laptop to keep up with me. So 230
yeah.
subscribers. He's just gained one subscriber since I clicked through to him, so that's a good thing. And he seems to be uploading every other day, just as much as Dominus did. And again, this is another TCG that's very similar to how Zumaner's is. Like the box layout is very similar to it. Maybe they've gained inspiration from each other. I've got it on screen here where it's actually done a Summoners pack opening gameplay video and then a Mayo mashup video, and you can kind of see a bit of resemblance between um, one of his and one of Summoner's cards. It's not exactly the same. The box design, the text boxes, and the borders that go around the images and stuff are much squarer. Sorry, much neater. How can I say, like cleaner. Whereas Summoner's has got like a bit of a scratchy effect to the card borders. But his artwork is it's similar to Summoner's, but it's different. I don't know how I can put it. It's like it's done with classic pencil. Um, like
Yeah, they both seem to have the same kind of cartoony look to them, but I see Summoners as more of like a. Their lines are not complete lines. Like
yeah,
he tends to do a lot of like breaks in between his lines, whereas
mm,
uh, I don't know if it's Myo Mashers or Mio Mashers, but um, yeah, his is just more of like a more of a complete line cartoony look. I like both though. They both look
yeah,
very
yeah.
good.
I
And
like
just
both.
scrolling
Yeah,
through some of his videos, yeah,
yeah,
just scrolling
uh,
through some of his videos, I'm really liking the way his cards look overall.
yeah. I like how he's got like they're not quite chibi characters, are they? But there's something about the art style that's very unique with the Mayo mashup ones. And
Definitely.
as for the lines on Summoners, I think that's intentional. Like I said, it's quite a scratchy, incomplete line, but I think that's the way the design is meant to be, which is pretty cool.
Hmm.
Right, okie dokie. Who next? Let me just go back a page. One thing I do like to do is when looking for Homemade TCG updates, I like to actually search for the term uh, Homemade TCG into YouTube, and then I will change because obviously when you just search for Homemade TCG, the first thing it comes up is Chaos Galaxy, um, and all of the popular videos, um, which maybe some people are not still in the community so much anymore. So I would normally put a filter on for the most recent, which I think YouTube have now removed. So you've got to do it by this week. So every week, every once a week or once a month or something like that, and I'll just go in and I'll just see who's actually uploaded a video. So that's why it's always important just to put the two words homemade and TCG into your video's title, because it always gets picked up on this instance, on this example. So as you can see, everything that's got homemade TCG in the title is coming up on this. So it's that's probably why you always see me putting the two words homemade TCG onto my video titles, just because it comes up like this. Dimension Battles is
Yep.
still going. Um,
Mhm.
he's
I just oh yeah, Dimension Battles.
yeah, so he's been around for just as long as me, I think. I think he had a bit of a break in the middle, but the good thing about Dimension Battles is his cards have always been hand drawn. Like the boxes, the borders. I don't think I've ever seen him go to like the Game Crafter or to move on to digital. All of his pack openings and everything have always been homemade, like actual homemade. Do you know what I mean? With
Yeah,
marker on paper, paper in paper packets, and then shipped off to
gotta love to
other
see it.
people. Yeah. So it's good that he's still going, because I'm sure if you go onto his channel, it'll probably say he's had just as many years as me and you on YouTube. Let me just see if I can find. He started, he started the same 1 or 2 years after me, 2016. So he's been on YouTube 10 years. 15th of January, that would have been his 10th year anniversary.
Yep,
Um,
good
anything?
for him.
Deck
Good
out.
for
Oh,
him.
I've not come across
I
Deck out.
saw.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, cool. I was gonna say I found one person. They made a video 5 days ago. Jay Washed. They have video about building their own homemade TCG. And they have 100 new cards.
Yeah, for some reason I thought that was when you said Jay Washan, I thought it was a completely different person, because there was somebody called Jay Wazoid or something like that, and I thought it might have been him, but no, it's somebody I've not actually seen. 87 views 5 days ago. Building his homemade TCG. Yeah, I've not actually watched that, so I'll have to Dreamscape TCG. Yeah, so I'll have to give that a watch at some point. Like I said, that's kind of flown under my radar, so um, that's something I will have to get back onto regarding that one.
It immediately grabbed my attention when I saw the name Dreamscape because
Skyscape.
if memory doesn't serve, well, Skyscape, yeah, but wasn't there like the old HTCG collaboration game where it was also called Dreamscape or something similar? Wasn't
Was
there?
yes, yes. Oh, yeah. I don't think it's the same game though. Um, Dream, yeah, Dream something. Yeah, it was just a couple of years after we joined. So you're probably looking at about um, 2020 or something
Okay.
like that. I feel like I know the logo, but I can't put my finger on who created it. But regardless of who it is, I don't think they're
Okay.
still knocking about.
Unless I'm completely wrong with the name of the original collaboration game, chat can just roast me or whatever. But I'm pretty sure it was Dreamscape. But
I
correct me if
think
I'm
it was
wrong.
Dreamscape. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Something like that. But that was like what 7 or 8 years ago. So
Yeah,
I was trying to remember.
I'm I'm here for both versions though. You know,
Yeah,
it's a cool name. Looks like a cool game. So love
cool.
to see it.
Yep. Let's just go back to chat. So we've got Myra Cult. He's been around for a while. Hello to you. Dragonbound TCG. Hello to you. Uh, are you sharing bangers made by the community? Yes, we appear to be so.
Yes, we
um,
are.
Only boys put Spell Patch or Mystic Guardians. Yeah, so we've done Mystic Guardians. However, Spell Patch, that's a good shout out because I would have completely forgotten about Spell Patch. Um, Let me see the. I think he has uploaded this week. So um, let's
Oh yes, yes,
see.
I've seen this guy. I had to double check, but yes, I've seen this. He has a bunch of very cool videos where he comes up with his game, redesigns things. The thing I like about videos like this is when you're coming up with a TCG, recognizing the flaws in the
Mhm.
process. It doesn't mean that your game is bad, it just means that you're figuring things out, you're tweaking things, and you're making improvements.
Yeah. Um, I'm struggling to find it on my side, but I do know uh, that I do comment on his videos and he does comment on my videos. Um, let's just see if we can do a quick
I
search for him, and then we'll
can
move on
send
to
his
chaos, and then we will move on to our next topic then.
okay. I can send a link of his channel over to you if that will help.
I've just done a search. Oh, I'll probably because I put three L's in spell patch. Spell patch. There you are. Yeah, got him. Yeah. Um, so yeah, again, it's another content
Okay,
creator.
awesome.
He seems to know what he's doing with his thumbnails. Again, it's got the face on the thumbnails, and I think that's the go-to for making thumbnails on YouTube nowadays. Uh, the odd thing
Definitely.
is, he only started 2 months ago with his TCG. There is one video from 6 years ago, but that's nowhere near as popular as what his TCG videos are doing. On average, he's getting about 600 views per video, and again, this chap does actually remind me of one of the guys from Shard TCG. Um, I don't know why. He just kind of looks like one of the guys, and again, it's like um, how I tuned my arts into a TCG card, how I'm making my own trading card from scratch, designing. Oh, I've just said that one. How I designed the core of my TCG and it broke everything. It's kind of got the same titles as what Shard used to do. So I think it's going to be another one of the channels where people will go to for um, information and not necessarily support, but advice on how to create a pretty decent card game.
Definitely. And the titles of the videos will definitely draw people in,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
100%.
yeah. He's got the titles just like how Mythic Guardians um, has done his titles. So Mythics look a bit more darker and filtery, whereas these look a little bit more basic, but not in a bad way. Um, So it's always good for how can I say it? They're not bad thumbnails, put it that way. I think they will get views, and by the looks of it, he is getting a decent amount of views per video. So
Definitely. And
uh,
then to address Dragonbound TCG in the live chat, putting homemade TCG in the video title definitely helps. But as far as it goes for Spell Patch TCG, the first video that I got of his that was recommended to me was the video that he had titled "I designed the core of my
yes,
TCG and it broke everything."
yeah,
That that was the first one that I saw, and I was just like, oh, okay, this is fun. Like coming up with a game and it breaks everything. Okay, this is part of the process. You know, things are gonna be broken at first. You start with the broken game where things are way too overpowered or underpowered, and then you get to the point where things are balanced. So that
mm,
was the first video I saw from his, and yep, I'm loving every video I see so far.
yeah. To be fair, that was the first video I saw. It's probably why it's got nearly 1,000 views, and it's it. The bit what got me was where it said I designed the core, and I was like, is he taking cores from my game? And I was like, oh no, it's like the core is in a different word of core, not you know, like I designed the heart of my TCG type thing. So and when you kind of see the word, well, when I see the word core now, I kind of think that um, somebody has designed a core for my game, and I saw that and I was like, oh, what's this? And then I kind of thought, actually, it's not what I thought it was, but it is actually a pretty decent video to watch.
Yep.
Right, okay, so on chat, that guy said he's got to go. Dragonbound. Next month I'll be changing my doodle streams into it being a TCG design stream. Hmm. Yeah, so putting homemade TCG in the video helps. Yeah, I definitely do think it does. Like I said, people like me just search for the word homemade TCG and it will come up um, as one of the most recent uploads. So, right, last one before we move on, because we have probably been, how long have we been streaming for? Um, it doesn't tell me. Can't be going on that. About half an hour, something
Yeah,
like
about
that.
half hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll do a quick on Chaos Galaxy just because, we can't really do a HTCG video without VOG. Um,
Yep, the founding
Chaos
father.
Chaos. Whoa, I spelled that completely wrong. Chose Chaos. Oh my god. Chaos Galaxy.
Reminds me
You
of
have
the
any?
one blooper I have in one of my older videos. I kept trying to say Chaos Galaxy, and I ended up saying Chaos Galaxy.
You don't even have to type you don't even have to type the word Chaos Galaxy into the search. You've just got to type in homemade TCG now, and it just comes up as the
Yep.
as the as the go-to thing. 56,000 subscribers. Started at the same
Yeah.
time as me and you. Say no more, really.
Yep.
His new
Shout out to
game,
the goat. He inspired me. Inspired a lot of us.
yeah. Um, Uploads once every 3 weeks, something like that. He's doing his own series, but I believe he went into in university. I think he did his graphic. Did he say he did graphic design or something
I
like
think
that?
so.
And it kind of makes sense because the episodal series what he's making does seem very professionally made, as though this is done by somebody who's done it before. All of us has been taught how to make something like this proper. Um, and again, he's got the face on thumbnails. Like what we've said for the last 3 or 4 HTCGs. Um, it seems to be a go-to thing that to put faces on thumbnails nowadays.
Yep.
And he's up to episode 21. I didn't think it was going to get to episode 21. I know he's making the game from scratch and he's like vlogging it and everything. But I really didn't think it would get to episode 21. And I did leave a comment on his last video saying, um, crikey, episode 21. And and he was like, "Oh yeah, and there's more coming." I was like, "Jeez."
Yep.
Someone's still putting dedication in, and it's still nice to have somebody in the community who's still around from our generation, if you like, because the end of the day, it's been what 10 years, and you know, me, you, and him are still here. Um, yeah,
Yep, still standing strong.
yeah.
The thing I'm most excited for with his newer videos is he said he was using make playing cards, and he was
Mm,
talking about getting more into the printing side of it, which I know a
mm,
lot of us in the community, because of seeing Zach and what he's done, we either decide to do printing from home and just making things basically ourselves, like
mhm.
you will do, actually. You're very good at that. But a lot of people default to the game crafter, and he was using make playing cards and talking about getting those printed, and I'm just curious to see in his future videos how much of the process of putting the cards up online, printing them, talking about maybe like prices, distribution, all that kind of stuff,
Mm,
more of the business side of it. I'm
mhm.
curious to see more of what he says for that,
Yeah.
because a lot of us can just use the game crafter, but if there's other options too, other routes that can be successful, I'm curious to see people make videos about that.
Mm. Yeah, so that's the thing, like, because everything can be mass produced in China so much, and the Game Crafter is probably one of the only companies outside of China that can do it on demand as well. I did I did see Make Playing Cards many years ago, but I thought the website was very janky, and it really put me off. It really put me off that website because there was just something about it. It was very like HTML basic. Whereas when you look at the Game Crafter,
Yeah,
it's like a proper modern day website, which you know the appearance of a website. If something looks fake or dodgy, I would definitely stay away from it. I was approached by somebody on Instagram a few weeks ago, and they were interested in producing my game, but then it turns out that they also produce a lot of other people's games. Um, and I can't remember. It's a factory in China, and again I thought it was a bit dodgy. But when you look onto their website and stuff, it's another mass production warehouse in China, and even though they could
yeah,
spit cards out like nothing, um, as I went on to the case of minimum quantities, and the minimum they wanted was like 2,000 copies, and even in the rare instance that they charge £1 or $1 per copy, that's like £2,000, $2,000 minimum. Um,
yeah,
that's to say, you know, it's not going to be $1 minimum at $1 per piece. It's you're probably looking at about $4 a piece, and then all of a sudden it jumps to like £10,000, $10,000, and it's like no, I'll just stick with something that just does it ad hoc, which is the benefit of the Game Crafter. Um,
yeah. So for those watching, I highly recommend the Game Crafter. I'm just curious to see where potentially other distributors might help Zach,
mm.
if he ends up finding a couple that are good,
There was one
or maybe
company,
just a local print shop or something.
yeah, there was one company in the UK which maybe about 4 years into my game when I had my first game, before I worked on the second one. There is one in the UK, and I can't for the love of me remember what it was, but young me, I just sent them an email and I just said, um, just out of curiosity, how much is it to print your game, blah blah blah. And someone actually came back to me and we were like, oh yeah, we don't know if you know, but we print some of the most popular TCGs in the country, such as what was it? Not Magic, no, it wasn't Wizards, but there was some popular games which I've heard of but never played before. And we were like, oh yeah, an hour minimum quantity is 10,000, and you look at it and you're like, what? So yeah, I'll just archive that email and I'll deal with that another day. But
Yeah,
the good thing is the Game Crafter does actually do help you with like Kickstarters and stuff. So I don't really have the time or the patience nowadays to do a Kickstarter. But um, yeah,
yeah,
it's.
all good options.
Mm.
But as
Anyway,
far
back
as
on
it
top.
goes for Zach's new game, I wish him the best of luck. But yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
get
yeah.
into
His
the
new
next
game's
topic
moving on.
here.
I mean, his artwork has definitely improved since we were like when we first started out. It was like very basic hand drawn designs, but the text boxes were very square and pretty basic. It's just like mine and yours when ours first, when you used to do hand drawn art and stuff like that, or when I I've not done like any art courses or art degrees or anything like that. Everything I've learned is just what I've been doing over the years. But when you look at what he's got now, he's doing his digital artwork um, and it's actually coming out pretty decent. Um, it just shows what 10 years, 12 years worth of YouTube is definitely changes a band, changes a person, or their
Ooh,
talents at least.
got a comment from Dragonbound. He said he's tried to make playing cards, but the colors were dull. Ooh.
Hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah. To be fair, that company on Instagram which reached out when I put their name into Google, some people said the same thing. Um, so maybe that's just a thing from. It could just be the same warehouse, perhaps,
Yeah.
in a
Oh,
different
that
room.
actually that reminds me of one thing that I've been doing for my cards, that I've noticed. Because trial and error, I've printed a couple of batches of my cards that just looked so bad compared to how they looked on a computer.
Hmm.
One thing that I've done, because like I'll use Photoshop as my program. I know people will use other things, but off of Photoshop, if you go into brightness, if you adjust that to do increase brightness by 20, you actually make the cards look brighter on the computer. So when they print out, they actually look normal because
Normal.
they print
Yeah.
out a little bit darker. Yeah. So I just increased the brightness slightly by all of my cards, and it turns out to look pretty much how it looks on the computer before I increase the brightness.
Hmm.
So overall, it just makes everything look normal afterwards. So
Hmm.
I highly recommend that to people that are doing stuff digitally,
Yeah.
just as an extra step.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I suppose when you're doing your digital artwork and you've got the full spectrum of colours to utilise, obviously some of them will just be so bright, but then when you put it through any type of printer, they'll come out much duller than what you wanted it to be. So yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Um,
Yeah, trial and
got a good
error.
tip. A
That's
good tip.
name of the game.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, it's been about 45 minutes now since we started. We've gone through a lot of um, what's been going on in the community. It would be pretty good to do this once a month, really, and just go through like I said, you just search for the term home HTCG and just put it by the month and then just have a quick flick through. Try and do something like this once a month up until this point now. Um, let's see how the
Definitely.
future goes. But so now we're moving on to something a little bit different. Um, so
Yep.
so the next couple of things we want to talk about is updates with of course 2.7, updates with Skyscape TCG. We've got the pack opening, like the gift pack what I've sent you. Was there anything else we needed to look at?
Yep. I believe we can just roll through those, and um, with the exception of one more thing after that, I think I think we'll be good to go. So yeah, let's talk about 2.7 real quick.
Yeah,
What are some updates for that?
yeah. So if we work on 2.7 and then it'll go from like Rafco's into Skyscape and then back into the Rafco's pack opening. It seems like a nice blend. Um, so it's not um, so everything's not as clumped together. It's a nice break in between topics. So yeah, 2.7. For those of you that don't know, 2.7 is going to be the next upcoming set in my game, and I am doing an episodal series on it. Basically, I wanted to be a bit more transparent on 2.7 because I did get a bit of feedback and positive criticism saying like you need it was Epic Underworlds basically saying it would be nice to do more videos about cards in particular, like individual cards in the game. And and I know I need to do that because I like to keep things hidden at times, but like 2.6 is out now and I've not really put any videos or too many videos up as to the cards what are contained within 2.6 unless people pull them in like booster packs and stuff. And so 2.7 I wanted to try and make it a bit more transparent for people to see what's going on, how I am creating a set, how I'm going to be making my cards, how I'm categorizing things, what's changes, things that follow-ups as to whether things stayed in with the initial ideas or whether I've taken ideas out of whatnot. So episode 1 went up last week and episode 2 is scheduled to come up this Thursday, and then I'm going to be working on a third episode in the very near future, which I need to edit. So yeah, 2.7 is going to be the last filler set of Cycle 1. Sets would normally come with 50 cards within them. However, because the filler set is going to be all OG Ravka's 1 artwork, it's the limit is going to be up to at least a minimum of 100 cards. Minimum. Could be more. It might reach 150 depending on how much work I've got to do. And the reason I've done it this way is because this month we had another addition to the family, so I've not had much time to do a lot of drawing. So I've decided to create a filler set with artwork which I thought was pretty good for the original game, and then because I already had the artwork, it means I don't have to spend too much time drawing and designing artwork, but I can put more effort into creating more physical, like an actual card count increase in 2.7. Like a big chunk, if you like, of new cards. And yeah, so it's going to be all original artwork from the first game. I have got some card designs already, which I'm going to reveal on this game as part of a transparency for 2.7. I don't think there's much more to say other than revealing some of the cards. I don't think.
All right.
So,
Well, that is all very exciting. Congratulations on the new addition to the family.
cheers. So, yeah, I'll pop up on screen now. So, 2.7 as well. What I realised is on the Gamecrafter, the booster packs. I think I have reached the limit of the number of asset cards you can have into a booster pack. So because I've got regular versions of cards, glare versions, X-glare versions, alternate versions, I think you can only have 1,000 uploads, individual uploads per product on like a booster pack, for example. So the filler set will more than likely be its own booster pack, whereas everything up until
Good call.
2.6 will be mixed into a booster pack. And even if 2.7 does get to 150 cards, having it in its own booster pack will help contain itself, and it'll also be nice to have a booster pack which has just got the original artwork from Afco's 1 as well. So if you didn't like the artwork from Afco's 1, but for whatever reason, then you don't necessarily have to buy a 2.7 booster pack. You can just buy a classic standard booster pack, which will have everything from 2.0 to 2.6 in. So on screen we are going to start off with Field Warden. So we've designed about 12 cards at the moment in 2.7. It's a bit slow at the moment because I'm starting off with the rares and the royalty rares, and I've just got to make sure that I need to put extra time into the rares just to make sure that one, they're not too overpowered, and two, rares and royalty rares also have an X-glare variant which takes a little bit more time editing, whereas the commons and the uncommons I can just sling them out as fast as I want, but the rares and the royalty rares I kind of take a bit more time with them just to make sure that they're not too unruly. So we've got Field Warden. This is a 4-cost assault unit. She's got 4 attack, 5 health, and it basically says whenever one of your Knight class units attacks or counter attacks, it gains a 1 attack and 1 health for the turn. So it's a nice little support. I was in two worlds whether to have it as an assault or whether to have it as a reinforce. The skill kind of feels a bit reinforcey to me, to be a reinforce type unit, but the artwork I felt it was more of an assault unit than it was a reinforce. So yeah, there's that card, which I did, and I've not actually used that. I think that was on the borderline for the beta set. This artwork, but yeah, I never brought this one into the beta set. So The next one is Blue Tipped Flames. It's a free cost action card. Basically, you get to deal 3 damage to any unit in play, which is um, a little bit expensive for 3 damage. However, it says you may remove 5 unit cards from your dead zone from the game if you do deal another 3 damage to any unit in play. So you've got an option now. If you really need to get a pesky unit out of the way with 3 damage, you can just pay the 3 charges and deal 3 damage to wherever you want. If, however, you happen to have a slightly bigger threat on the field and you didn't have much graveyard play or dead zone play, if we call it here, you can ultimately deal 6 damage to 1 unit or 2 lots of 3 damage to 2 separate units. So I think that's a pretty cool card, and it kept the same card name as well, Blue Tipped Flames. And if you can see on the artwork, you can just about see a little bit of blue shading on the artwork, just on the edges of literally on the tips of the flames, and there's little people stuck in the flames as well.
Love the
You can see
artwork on that
you
one.
can see a few more little people just stuck in the flames. It's like an Atari oily type situation. Then we've got Mount Olympus. Now this was not actually called Mount Olympus in the first game. Actually can't. I think it was just used as a terrain. I think it was a special terrain card. This one. So it's a 5 cost defensive unit for 8 health. So you may notice that usually defensives go on a 1 to 2 cost to health ratio because they obviously can't attack or counter attack. So this has actually got a lower health ratio than it does a play cost. Really it should have 10 health, but it's got a pretty decent skill. So it says, whenever this unit survives battle, recover this unit's base health value back to 8. Up to twice per turn. Whenever either player rolls a 6 in battle, this unit gains 1 health for the turn. So what this card basically means is when your opponent tries to attack this defensive unit, they need to deal 8 damage to take it out. Otherwise, if you swing with 4 damage and plan to swing with another 4 damage, it will recover all of its health back after the first swing. So the opponent needs a pretty chunky unit to be able to take out this defensive unit. The next one was Judgment. This was a set 1 art card from Wrath of Kors 1. I think this is one of the very first pictures what I drew actually. And it is basically, it's 5 cost and it's very basic. Destroy any 1 unit currently in play. So any unit, it could be a
Classic
Rhaenys.
removal.
Yeah, it could be you could target a Rhaenys and also anything, anything you wanted to, it'll be out. You could even target a 1/1 creature if you wanted to, but that wouldn't be worth the money. Next one is Obelisk of War. This was from set 1 in Wrath of Kors 1, and it shares the same name. It's the same, it pretty much does the same thing. It pretty much is the same card, which has been brought forward, and it's a 4 cost wonder, so it just sits off to the side, and it says, once per turn, you may choose to re-roll any one of your unit's battle rolls before damage. So let's say you've got the Obliterator Cannon, which is coming up soon. If you don't roll your 6, what you need to hit it, you can use this wonder's effect to re-roll that unit and try and get that 6 again. So that's a nice bit of support for you during battle. Speak of a devil, here's the Obliterator Cannon. Now this thing is an absolute monster. So it's a 5 cost and it's got 10 attack.
That's massive.
Yeah, if it hits Rhaenys, it will actually kill him. However, you need to get a 6 for this monster to hit. That's where Obelisk of War comes in handy, because if you don't get your 6, you get a second shot at rolling this 6. And then get this. When this unit hits in battle, roll a second die. A 1 to a 2 means you deal 3 damage to all enemy units. You never know, that might just be enough to wipe out a lot of the pesky units what the opponent has got in play. A 3 to 4, it deals 1 direct damage point to the enemy caused health. And then here's where it gets juicy. Roll 5, deal 10 damage to all enemy units. So it's like the first ability, but just much more powerful. And then a 6 is deal 3 damage to the enemy core. So
Ooh,
yeah, yeah, you could attack the enemy core if they've got no defensive units. You could try and go for the core with this card, roll a six, and then if you roll a second die and got a six again, two lots of sixes, you'll basically do 4 damage to the enemy core, which is like almost half of its current HP, of its maximum HP. So yeah, watch out for that one. Um,
that is a fearsome card to deal with.
yeah. Another wonder, but this is actually a weather card. So the difference with the weather cards is you can only have um, one weather in play. So if I played a heat wave, and then you could play Clouds of Chaos, and it would basically remove the heat wave. It will destroy the heat wave card. There can only be one weather in play for obvious reasons. It's a weather card. And this one is a free cost. It's called Clouds of Chaos. And it says whenever your opponent's units need to roll a die, increase that value by 1. Now the good thing is, let's say you've got a unit and you decide to attack or counter attack with it, and it needs a 3 to hit, and then you roll a 3. This will increase it by 1 to make it 4, which ultimately basically says that unit it assists in that unit missing. So it's good for me, but it wouldn't be good for you. The other thing as well is it doesn't say for battle only, so it can be fun on actual abilities in the ability box. So when it says, obviously a die can only go up to 6, so you can't get 7 on a d6 die, but everything else, it's like, let's say, for example, obliterator cannon. It could be bad against an enemy obliterator cannon because if they hit the enemy core and they roll their second die, Clouds of Chaos would increase that second die value by 1. So it's got its pros and cons. It helps you in a player in a way because it increases the inaccuracy of that unit's battle roll. However, it also increases the everything in this little box as well. So where it says 1 to 2 deal 3 damage to an enemy units, it will actually it could potentially knock it into the next set of skills on that card's text. So yeah, it's a very unique card to have because it can help you or it can mess with you. Hence the word Clouds of Chaos. Um, Ella, Wandering Child. Ella is one of the fast support cards from the first game. Basically, in the original game, whenever you played her, you got to draw a card, so it's very good on turn 1. This one's a little bit different, so it says if you have units called Neom and Sasanthe in play, this unit cannot be targeted by your opponent. Now, in lore-wise, Neom and Sasanthe is Ella's parents, so they kind of shield her and put an umbrella over her. Whenever your core loses HP, you may choose to draw 3 cards. So, again, if you're struggling and this card's out on the field, it's a reinforced unit, which sometimes the opponent sometimes doesn't go after the reinforced units because it's less of a threat than an assault and a defensive. But if that enemy hits your core, then you choose to draw 3 cards. So that's optional in case the opponent has got Blood Tree out, but you can choose to draw 3 cards if you're struggling with the game. If you're on the losing side, she might just pull you back into the play with the 3 cards, what you might possibly need to prevent you from dying. And then here's Sasanthe. This is Neom's wife. Neom is obviously the royalty rare unit in the Knights 2.1. So Sasanthe is another reinforced unit, just like a daughter. And it says the reinforced assault and defensive units each gain 2 health for as long as Sasanthe stays in play. So she basically buffs the unit above her and the unit below her, defensives as well. Then we're moving on to the final 2 Mage Sisters, which are not currently in of course 2. So this one is Naya. She keeps the same name, she keeps the same elements. The only difference is this is actually not original artwork. I wanted to make sure that the Mage Sisters had brand new artwork for this new set, and I wanted to release the last 2 Mage Sisters before the end of Cycle 1. So Naya and Sane both have new artworks, and Sane is after this card. Basically, it's a 4 cost assault unit, 4 attack, 4 health, and it says whenever a unit dies from anywhere, you may permanently increase Naya's attack or health by 1. So she would also go well in a burn deck. So like let's say you've just got a handful of cheaper, nasty burn cards, and you keep killing off the opponent's assault units. She will slowly and gradually get much more powerful during the death of all the other units. And then finally, let me just see how the chat's doing.
That card's crazy. It's insane. It's unfair, and I love it. I want to play a playset.
Just a quick one. Oni Boy is going. I need to go. I'll catch
Bye, Oni Boy.
up at the end of the stream. Have a wonderful day. Yep, you too. Have a great day. And then final card. Oh no, we're not on the final card, are we? We're on 353. So this is 352. This is Sane. Again, brand new artwork. In the original game, she had the halo and the blue hair. And this is a 7 cost assault unit, 8 attack, which is more than slightly higher than average, 7 health. And it says, whenever Sane attacks, so when you declare her as an attacker, if you have a card in your hand called Red Lightning, you may play it for free with its X cost being set to 5. Now Red Lightning is a card from 2.6, which is like a it's a burn card with a play cost of X, and basically whatever you choose to pay for that play cost is how much damage you do. It's like a custom burn card basically, and this, you can see the red lightning in the background of the art, striking down there. So Red Lightning is actually her main card, her skill card, if you like. And so it says, whenever you declare her as an attacker, if you've got Red Lightning in your hand, you may play it for free with its X cost being set to 5. So that is literally just for declaring her as an attacker. So this will trigger before you roll for the battle. In theory, killing off a unit before she actually...
That's very cool, and I love the artwork.
Whenever Sane kills a unit via counter-attack, your core gains 1 health. That's the holy sign of her coming out with a 1-wing angel wing. She is obviously the eldest daughter to King Rhaenys, and King Rhaenys has a very similar effect here, the second effect, where it says whenever Rhaenys kills a unit via counter-attack, you get to destroy any unit currently in play. So that is... Where's that gone? So she has a very... Sorry, I've just knocked off my earbud. Okay. Yeah, so I just dropped my earbud out of my ear, and it turned itself off, and it's turned itself back on. So hopefully everything's fine. So yeah, she's got a similar second skill effect to her father, King Rhaenys. Moving on, we've got Gemstone Discovery. This is a 2-cost action card. You may search your deck for a card with Gemstone in its name and card type, if you choose not to draw a card. So the Gemstones were 5 cards from the original Of Course 1. I think it's from the second set, War Against the Elements. And each one would do something related to that colour. Now I can't replicate the same effects because it wouldn't work in Of Course 2, so they're going to be slightly different, such as maybe the black one may do something like discard a card, red one might deal damage or something like that. And
that's very cool. Sorry to interrupt, but we have Zummoners in the chat. Hello, Zummoners.
Yeah, we were talking about you before.
Yep. Towards the beginning, earlier half.
Yes, at the very beginning of the live stream. So when this live stream ends, be sure to go and watch the first couple of minutes, because we were actually talking about your game.
Yep.
So the gemstones. The easiest way to describe the gemstones are like the Infinity Stones in Marvel. Each colour Each colour has got its own gemstone. For example, red has ruby, blue has sapphire, white has pearl, black has amethyst, and green has emerald. Each gemstone will do something related to that colour. And then there's another card lurking in the background, which I've not done yet, which will do something once you've got so many in your dead zone in your discard pile. And then finally, the last card to reveal is Dead Core. I think this has been happening around before. I need to disappear in a minute. Dead Core. So basically, this is like a very fast-paced basic core. It's a core with 5 health. It's got no ability, and it's basically designed for much faster gameplay.
Already.
Just to if you need, like, if you want to finish the game in like 15 minutes, that kind of gameplay. This will help with that. It's got no main ability, it's got no charge ability. Literally just deal 5 damage to the enemy, and that's it, game over. So I think that is all. Sorry, just going to check on this 1 second.
Alright.
You alright?
Yep, so just filling in for Chris here, I just wanted to say that all of his new cards look very good. I'm very excited for his next set, and I hope all of you are too.
Yep, cool. So yeah, I will slowly be making more. Like I said, with the rares and the royalty rares, it takes me a little bit longer to do. Not only to balance it, but there's always something that's not quite right. And even just by now flicking through the very first one, Field Warden, just by looking at it on this live stream, I've noticed there's one thing that's wrong with it. It's not a massive thing, it can go without, but I feel like I need to add it on, and it's basically the subtype. So where it's got unit stroke human, sometimes they will have a class such as like / knight or samurai or witch or something like that. So I've just forgot to put that subclass on there, so it's not a hard thing to fix, but it just means going back into it and redoing the Xglare because I don't save the Xglare file. Okay, Zominus is going to rewind the live stream. Anyway, I think that's all the reveals for 2.7. That's probably taken, what, another 20 minutes or something like that. So if you've got some updates for Skyscape. And
Yep, sure thing. I just sent you 4 pictures. You can cycle through those on the stream if you'd like, but I'll just talk a little bit about it. So I have been a little bit radio silent when it comes to making videos because I've been putting my best foot forward into getting everything done that I needed to for this first set. I wanted to make sure that every card was as good as it needed to be, that everything went smoothly, because I've had a couple of like releases before where cards just either didn't print off well or just things were an issue. So I'm very excited to say that the first set is coming, and it's going to have what I think is probably a record-breaking amount of cards in the first core set of an HTCG. It's going to have 330 cards, all of which are unique. I know you mentioned before that for one of your sets you had multiple different versions of the glares and X-rares and stuff, and you ended up hitting like that 1,000 threshold. Well, for this set, there's going to be none of those alternate rarities. It's just individual cards, and that's going to be 330 cards, which is just absolutely insane. I went through a bit of number crunching, and I found that if you have a pack of 18 cards, if you were to open up a booster box of those and try to get a decent ratio of cards that you'd pull, you would need to have 330 cards for an 18-pack set. So that's where the goal for that specific number came from. But I went through and actually found that out of all of that, I would need to have 153 commons, 77 uncommons, 40 rares, and then 45 more rares and 15 legendary to be able to have a distribution of a legendary rare being in one of every 4 packs, which seemed to be a decent ratio for what they were worth. But a big part of balancing was just kind of going through and taking cards that I thought were rare and kind of reducing them down to being uncommon and common. And another part of that whole process that I'm very excited about is that none of the cards out of the 330 are going to be vanilla cards. Every card is going to have an effect. I tried to make most of them be simple. There's a couple there that have some pretty complicated effects, but it's not all of them, so that's pretty good. But I I'm pretty proud of having the game have every card have an ability. I don't really like seeing vanillas that much, so it's pretty nice. But 330 cards in that set, it's a very exciting thing, and I do have a couple of things I might want to tease here sooner or later, depending on when you want to show some of them off.
Yeah, yeah. I can just say as well, like even in my first game, my sets were 100 cards per set, and obviously now with life moving on and that, I can only really spit out 50 cards per set at a push, other than this newest set which I've already got the artwork for. But to see 330 cards in one set, that's some dedication. That's quite a feat. I don't think I've seen any um, HTCG pump out that many cards in one set, and it's quite understandable knowing that because you've not really put any videos up lately because of you must just be really busy, bogged down with creating this new set. So it's pretty big praise going to you on that because I definitely couldn't. It would take me about at the rate I'm doing cards now. It will probably take me about a year of just making cards to get something like that done, if not more. So
It's definitely taken a while, but I'm happy with how things are. Kind of behind the scenes, I've learned to make things happen faster um, with just creating cards and getting things done. And I've been working really hard on the formula of just being able to expedite the process of making each individual card. So
mm,
I do want to have a couple of videos up and out. One that I'm planning is about making an entire set and having that be a video in and of itself, and then another one is just kind of your standard, like how to make a single card digitally. So
mm,
both of those are videos I want to be making sometime soon, but it's just been kind of hard to get into video mode when every moment of free time is kind of just finishing the 330. So
yeah, no,
yep.
it's crazy. But it's yeah, it's definitely something to sit back and once you've done it and just sit back and go, ah, I did that.
Yeah. Plus, it's gonna be fun because if I do make set two and set three and they end up having like 100 cards or something, it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, okay, this seems more normal, but if you want to have like the first set be just as crazy as possible with as many different things as possible, just to get everybody into the game with as many different options as possible, I feel like this is a good step. I don't
Mm.
know, I don't think the next set would be up to 300 cards, but time will tell.
Yeah,
Maybe it
no,
will,
it's
maybe it won't.
crazy, and you've done a good job working at that figure as well because 95% of people will just go for a whole figure, like 50 or 100 or 150, and it's like you've obviously put a lot of thought into getting to that number 330 whatever. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, yeah, you've definitely
it
got your
came up
thinking cap
to
on.
Oh yeah, it came up to a lot of number crunching, and because the game crafter does 18 card packs,
Hmm.
that's what I'm working off of. So I'm looking at a display sheet now, but it says for each pack it would be 9 commons, 6 uncommons. You'd get 2 rares, and
Hmm.
then the last slot will be your rare or legendary.
Hmm.
And again, I have that set up to where the odds and the ratio of getting a legendary card would be 1 out of every 4 packs. So if you pull a legendary, it'll be, well, a legendary really rare
Hmm.
pull.
Yeah, yeah,
But if you
a
end up
proper.
getting, yeah, if you end up getting that other rare, you're still pretty well set off because you're getting 3 rares in a pack.
Hmm.
So unlike something more like Magic, where you'll open up a pack and you'll get that one rare card that's pretty good, and then you'll have like common cards that'll probably be vanillas more or less. Um, you end up getting a pack that feels pretty good and feels pretty nice, especially with having 3 of those cards be rares. It's almost
Hmm.
like you're opening up 3 packs when you open up just one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no, well done. Was there anything else before moving on to the Well, we know there's going to be
Um,
something after the gift pack opening, but um,
I am fine with going
anything.
into the gift pack opening.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So what I will do is, oh, we're down to two viewers. Oh well, they're a mess. I'll just make you a bit bigger on screen. So let me just bring you forward.
Ooh, okay.
Right, so the screen is all on you.
Alrighty. So, gotta open this way to avoid showing extra things. Ooh, hey, thank you for being a fan. A nice dice taped
It's
to
got
it.
like an amber.
Awesome.
The dice has got like an amber style effect to it, so it's like semi-transparent, which is um, I thought it was instead of just being like a
I
solid
love it.
black die or something like solid white die. I quite like the ones with the colours in them or the transparency. So I thought that was quite a nice little touch. I was looking at trying to get custom dice where number 6 would have the Rathco's logo on it, but
Ooh,
other
that'd be
than
cool.
ordering it from a
Yep.
game crafter, it would
Got this
it would take
too.
too long.
This looks very cool. Let's see here. Ooh, stickers.
Mm.
These are cool.
And they're transparent as well,
Made
so
these.
if you start
Ooh,
peeling them
very
off,
cool.
it's the anything that's not the logo is actually
Awesome, very nice.
transparent. So
That's very cool. Well, now we have, what is this? Ooh, VIP gold. Ooh, okay, that is awesome. Just gonna flash that to the camera real quick. Yep, and then there is these kind of stuff. Let me jimmy that out. Okay, awesome. Two
yeah,
packs.
yeah, game
Very
crafter
cool.
cards inside, but the actual packs are homemade.
I love that.
But
So, according to
I
your
don't know what's
videos,
in
you
them.
can either tear them or there's two ways to open them. Which way
Mhm.
do you prefer?
If it's got the ribbon behind the horizontal one, I would go for that. But I think the majority of
Okay.
them, it's like a piece of sellotape that helps it come off in one go. So
Okay.
you go for where the
Yeah.
yellow arrow is, and you can just get your nail underneath.
There we go. Oh, well. Start ripping the cards in half. No.
Yep.
All right. Still a better, still a better tear than the Game Crafter packs.
Well, some of them have put a
Uh,
piece of tape behind, so that they would come off in one full tear, but some of them I didn't. So I just
okay, so I'm gonna try to angle this to where I'm not seeing the cards and you're not either. Okay, so I don't know what these are. I'm gonna shuffle these around so I don't know.
oh, sure. They
Okay.
were actually in variety order. So all the commons were at the front and all the rares at the back. But
Okay.
okay.
Well, now we made this fun. So we have Magmatic Pyrolysian, Devastating Worm, Fireball. Excellent. Look
Nothing
at the
rare.
names of these. Advocate. Very nice. Very awesome rare. Hunting Oak. Cool. Trained Samurai. Bog Monster. I loved using this. And we have, ooh, Ruins of Belgoo. Love that
I've
card as
recently
well.
put that. Yeah, I've recently made a witch mage deck with that, and I think that's a pretty cool card.
Excellent. Okay, now for the second pack. Try to rip these pretty
Try doing it the
quickly.
other way if you want. Do one way and do one upwards and see if it which way you
Upwards.
prefer.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, yeah, that seems a little bit more clean for me. Awesome. Cool. I'm just a monster. I will completely obliterate these packs. Okay. All right, first card is Victorious Moment. Yeah, I
It's a
felt that
good
way
card.
when I
That's a
pulled
good common
this.
card. That.
Yep, Victorious Moment. Roaming Knight. Battering Ram. Ember Witch's Hat.
Yeah.
Hungry Corlisian. Let's go. Gotta love a Corlisian card. Intimidating Thunderstorm. Protection of Belgoo. To go with the other Belgoo. And then we have, ooh,
Ah,
Neon.
that's pretty cool.
Hey, very cool.
So for the
Awesome.
video, this is
Gotta love.
actually they were all randomly. I never looked at what was in those homemade packs. I just shuffled them all up and then. So it's just completely
I'll have
random
to
to
add
me.
that to my
That's what
night
it is.
collection.
Go and show it. Let's see it.
The Holy Trinity. We have Rhaenys as the X-Glare. Then we have the Beta Core as the X-Glare. And last but not
Oh, you got
least,
Neil.
Neom as the X-Glare. Is it possible for me to hold up all three of these without them falling? I think so. Ooh,
Ta-da.
that'll have to be a new thumbnail for a video right there. Yeah. Got the Holy Trinity, but I think we do have a little bit more in this pack. Do we? Yes, we do. Okay, what is this? I believe that is everything. Okay. Let's see. Ooh. Hey, Golden Series. Okay. I think I saw Unleash do something with this. Okay, let's tear the back of this one. Saving the best for last. Oh, alrighty. Very cool, very cool. What do we have in here? Ooh, okay. It was face down. Okay. Trying to do this without seeing anything. Okay, I'm gonna show the camera. Whoa! Hey! Angel of Embers. And it's signed too. Okay. Okay. Alright. I'm digging it. I'm loving it. That is cool. That is very cool. Look at the gold. That's awesome.
I think the foil,
Look at that.
the foil kind of really kicks the gold out.
Yeah. So this was a Game Crafter foil?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
right? Awesome. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely making me want to use Game Crafter foils now.
yeah.
People in
But just
chat still commenting. Yeah. Chat, look at this. This is amazing. Angel of Embers. That is so cool. I love that. That is amazing. Let's just stare at that beauty just a little bit more.
and that was
Yeah,
one of your
that
favourite
is
cards
absolutely
from.
insane.
That's one of your favourite cards from the original Ravco's one as well, wasn't it?
Yep, that is absolutely amazing. I love that. That is so cool. Okay, well, I think that is everything for that amazing bundle box. Like, again, check out Wrath of Course, play the game, like, definitely. I would assume people are interested in the game if they're in the chat. But yeah,
Hopefully.
that is amazing. And speaking of amazing, awesome things, including Wrath of Course, do you want to go to the uh, you want to go to the next step we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, yeah. So what I'll do is
Okay, I
uh,
believe I have the newest thing. I'll just send something over to you, so I think that will help in
I just
that
need to
regard. But
find
yes, I'll
I just need to
just
find
keep
where
showing this to the camera because this is so cool.
where did I save it to? I've got my version of it
Okay.
somewhere. I think it's number 12. Oh no, it
Uh,
comes under alternate folder. Yeah, it's in the alternate folder. It makes sense.
But I know I got the Holy Trinity, but I think this is better. So
If you get
if
this one in extra,
if
that'll be
chat
fine.
is if chat is commenting, which one do you think is better? Angel of Embers or the Holy Trinity? If you had to pick one, if you had to pick this or this, which would you pick?
We've got six concurrent viewers, so if you're there, say hi. Answer Jared's question. Come on, chop chop. I mean, I hope my chat's not crashed and it's just like I've got like a load of messages and it's just not updated on my phone. Um, I should
Alright.
really like close it and reload it just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
And not that I am in any big massive rush, but I will have to be going fairly soon. So I think
yeah,
we're
I'm
uh,
nearly done.
I think we're pretty close to the end of the stream here. So for those that are watching, yeah, I'm happy you were watching, and it's a very exciting day.
Right, let me just open this. If I just overlay this with the card reveals I had before, and then I can just turn it on and off now. So
Hello, hello. Zuminer said hello,
hello for sure.
hello. Yep.
Right, so yeah, the next bit, it's on my screen. Well, the Rafco's version of it is. Let me just see if I can find. Did you say you sent it me on Discord?
I just sent that version off of Discord. Yep.
Let's see if I can just
Gotta
quickly.
talk in code. We gotta say bibbity or bobbity.
Yeah, so I should have done this before. I just need to download it, upload it, into my OneDrive.
Alrighty.
Upload. So which one should I do first? The Skyscape version or the Wrath of Chords version?
I think the Skyscape version first, and then we can go to the Wrath of Course.
Mhm.
Yep.
Where's attachments?
I just realized out of all these cards, I don't think I got a precious gold, but that's okay.
Oh no, yeah. There was one. There was one in one of the booster packs, I think.
Let me go through. Nope, I don't have precious gold out of my haul, but that's okay. It's one of the best cards in the game. It's basically this game's version of Pot of Greed. I will say, having... Where is the rare? Where is the rare? Yes. Okay.
Right, we are in
Advocate of the
position
Bear
and
and
ready to
Neon.
go.
Alrighty, let's get going.
Okay, so do you want to introduce it? Or do you want to say anything before I reveal it?
Yes, so out of the 330 cards in the first set of Skyscape, I decided to make this be a very grand big thing. Because 330 cards is, yes, it's big, that's massive, but I wanted to go a step and beyond and just do a couple of collaborations. So with that being said, I have a certain number of collaborations, and I reached out to Chris, reached out to a couple of other creators, and I said, hey, would you mind if I had a card in this set be one of your characters and kind of have it be a crossover collaboration thing? And I reached out to a few people, and thankfully, everyone that I reached out to said yes. So without further ado, let's show the collaboration character between Skyscape and Wrath of Course. Take it away, Chris.
Okay, that it should be on screen now. So that's the Skyscape version. And
Alrighty.
I
Yep.
don't.
Double
I'll
checking the
put.
stream. There it
Yeah.
is.
So that's the Skyscape collaboration with Wrath of Course. Obviously, the artwork is done by Jared himself, and really cool thing is I love how the sword just comes out of the border as well. I like out and over the border, and it is literally like it's a perfect rendition. Basically, Skyscape's rendition of King Rhaenys, who's probably still the most powerful unit in my game. So it's pretty cool seeing him now once again in somebody else's game, because years ago he used to be the Wandering King, where he would go into like other people's TCGs years and years ago, and he's not really travelled into anyone else's world for quite a while, I don't think. So it would be um, when Jared came and offered to do a collaborational unit with him, it's not like I could turn it down because, well, it would have been stupid not to. To have turned it down. So, yeah, and then he came at me literally within a couple of hours, or maybe a day, should we say, with this amazing piece of artwork.
Yep, the turnaround time for it was very quick.
Yeah, and it's got a similar effect to. If I can zoom it in a bit. Was it this one? So it's got a similar attack to the ability in Rafkor's. So like in the Rafkor's version, it says whenever he counter attacks, he can destroy any unit currently in play. This has got a similar type of skill. It says when this card attacks, you may sever target card. Ooh, oh, what's going on there? Hang on. Oh no, where's it gone?
Oop.
Nope. There we go. I don't know what happened there. So yeah, it's got a very similar ability. It says when this card attacks, you may sever target card, or you may have each summon you control getting one rune. So it's got the ability to just destroy a card, just for simply attacking. And that's very similar to how the ruling is in Rafko's, where it's very similar. It just says when this card counter attacks, you may destroy a card that's currently in play. So it's nice that it's still kept the same type of skill effect and more. He's got a lot more abilities in the Skyscape
Yep.
version.
It was it was very much an important thing to make sure that the card kept the flavor of the original version of Rhaenys.
Hmm.
As far as keyword abilities go for it, without talking too much about it, it has a keyword which means it can block attacks from any card. There's an ability called Airborne, which is pretty similar to flying, so it can block any of those pesky dragons. It has Deflect, which means that if it's targeted for something, you're basically able to switch the target to another card that you control. And then it has Recover, which means that if something would hit it and potentially kill it, it is saved for one time. So essentially, to out this card, once you get into it, your opponent would need pretty much 2 removal cards and be able to kill it by combo or by combat, or having 3 removal cards, pretty much. So it's a tank, it's a beast of a card, and it has a massive 9 runes, which
Nine
is
rune
the
count. Yeah,
highest. Yep, amount of runes, which is basically attack and defense stats for the summons.
yeah.
But aside from that, on the bottom right of all these cards that are collaborations, you will see the little artist credit in blue for the artist name. But to the left of that, you'll see the actual game of the collaboration. So on the bottom right, you'll see Wrath of Kors and then my name. So
Yeah.
yep, that's an easy way for people to tell that it's a collaboration. And
Hmm.
yep, I'm very happy to say that your Rhaenys is actually one of the legendary rares of the set, and there's 15 of them, so the 14 are yet to be revealed.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah. So we did. Well, just very quickly, Ignaris TCG has just popped in towards the end of the stream just to say hello. Um,
Oh, hello,
so
Ignaris.
Ignaris was another one of the ones who should be receiving his parcel hopefully soon, if not already. I would like to hope it's not got lost in the post, however. um, and back on topic with Rhaenys, you also allowed me to utilise this artwork in my game, didn't you? So
Yes.
if I close this window now, it should have. So we have the alternate art, which is not yet available um, in my game. It's not currently in the game. It will be maybe towards the end of 2.7. Um,
Look at that beauty.
but yeah, it really matches, I think, the heads-up display, if you like, of this game. Um, the colours and this is the X Glare variant as well. And I think for the first time ever, we've got the X Glare logo there actually on the object because it didn't look right anywhere else. And it's quite a really nice place to position it on the handle of the weapon. But also this one has got 3 colours in the X Glare backdrop. So you've got purple to the left, yellow to the top, and then blue just behind the weapon there. And obviously it's got the alternate bar across the bottom, as with all the non-original stuff. We'll have alternate or limited. Um, but yeah, I think the colours, the like everything about the artwork, the reflections and the shadows and stuff, it just pops so well with the actual border of Ravco's 2. Um, and if
Yeah,
anything, it's probably
definitely.
I think it's probably the best looking card to actually hit the game. So um, I do have more golden cards to give out, but they will probably be
Excellent.
for competitions. Not many, maybe 2 or 3. Um, I may
Okay.
do them for competitions, but if I ever do another batch of gold, something like that, I think I would just do this one in gold as well. Um,
Excellent. Did
Probably
you
for
have
Vanco.
um did you have the file of just the artwork too?
Yeah, yeah, I can get it for you. 1 second. Um,
Awesome. Yeah, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the vague kind of story element to Rhaenys being in Skyscape, because I know some people probably want a little bit of the story. So, without saying too much, there's a big event that will happen in Skyscape. It's not really much of a secret, but pretty much the event will be known as the Shattered Skies, where there's pretty much portals in the sky where all these villains from the void will appear, and that's a big event in Skyscape. Um, big world event, and as part of that event, I kind of use that as a reason to have all these different characters show up in the world of Skyscape. So not only Chris's character Rhaenys, but all these other characters as well. So on the top left of the artwork, you'll actually see the shattered skies as portals are opening, and the card name of Rhaenys in Skyscape is the Archon Anomaly. So he is an anomaly being in the world of Skyscape because he's not supposed to be there. He's supposed to be from the world that Wrath of Kor is made. Um, as well as decking a shield as well as a sword, which I think is kind
Hmm.
of cool.
Yeah.
And I guess the biggest difference in his design, not counting the shield, from the original Rhaenys, is on his chest armor. There is
Mm.
actually the set symbol, which is also the symbol of the Alliance, and the Alliance is a faction in Skyscape that's trying to stop all the big wars from happening and team up to fight pretty much the Void, which is invading. Because uh, there's 6 factions at war in the world of Skyscape at this time period, and they're all fighting each other. And even though the Void is invading and all this stuff is happening, instead of banding up and trying to stop that, they're still at war with each other. So this faction is trying to end it and trying to get peace, and Rhaenys decided to join that. And of course, there's this big event where all these portals open, and that's where pretty much set one is going to end in terms of the story. You'll get to see all the factions fighting and a little hint of what happens with all the void and whatnot, but set two is going to be 100% all about that big event, about the void, about how these characters will have to fight them off. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds really interesting. And like you say, you've got so many people who were quick enough to jump on board with it and stuff. It'll be
Oh
good
yeah.
to see like
There's
more designs
there's
coming.
one person in particular that I'm very excited about. I'm not going to say who, but I'm very very excited about one of them, and you guys will have to wait and see. I'm sure chat will have their ideas, but it's very exciting.
Very good. Very good. Right. Yeah. The master of suspense doesn't fail. Right, and I think that is everything. It is 20 to 11 here now, so PM. So,
Yep. I do have to get going pretty soon, so I will say, as
yeah,
always, aim high and pierce the skyscape to everybody. It's been a lovely chat. Love to be in here.
yeah. And we still actually got 7 viewers as well, so yeah, if anyone wants to say hi or anything before we shut down, be sure to post it in the chat. Must be a few of you lurking in the shadows, but
Oh
the
yeah,
low
the low
angle
angle.
makes them look powerful.
Yep.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah, the low angle. Yeah, the scaling on for the angle is top notch. Like the weapon and that hand, just making it that little bit bigger, and definitely puts the depth into the design of the art. So yeah. Anyway,
Yep.
yeah, I don't want to be falling asleep and boring you all. So yeah, thanks very much for joining us on the stream. And if you fancy doing anything again in the near future, just let me know.
Alrighty. Okay. Take care,
Yeah.
everyone.
Cheers. I'll see you later.
Bye.